Hey guys, welcome back to Smart Apple Tips. This is 2017 iMac buying guide. We know that Apple has updated the iMacs in WWDC 2017 with major improvements. And they also announced the most powerful and really expensive iMac Pro, which is going to release later this year. Now it's been a while since the regular iMac release, and most of reviews and benchmarks are out. So if you decided buy one, this video will guide you to get better configuration for price. Anyway, before buying advice, let's check what Apple actually updated in this iMacs. So let's check the iMac highlights from WWDC 17 keynote.
And as always on the iMac, it starts with the display. Because the 4K and 5K Retina iMac displays, with their high resolution, excellent brightness, and P3 color gamut, are the best displays on any desktop. But we're going to make them even better. So these new displays are now going to be 500 nits. That's 43% brighter than the previous generation. And for the first time, we're going to support 10-bit dithering, which means these displays can reproduce up to 1 billion colors. So your content is going to look more true to life than ever before. Now, in addition, we've got some great internal updates for these iMacs. So we'll start with the CPU, because the whole line is moving to Intel's 7th generation core processor, also known as Kaby Lake. Now, Kaby Lake gets us better base and turbo frequencies for more performance, as well as hardware-based 10-bit HEVC decode, which is great for playing back high-quality video. In addition, these iMacs are getting a boost when it comes to memory capacity. So the 21.5-inch systems can now be configured with up to 32 gigs of memory, and the 27-inch can go all the way up to 64 gigabytes of memory. Both of those are twice what the previous generation could do. Now, fast storage has always been a key part of the iMac, and so we're going to now make our Fusion drive standard on all 27-inch configs. And it's also going to be standard on the high-end 21.5-inch config as well. In addition, our SSD options are going to be up to 50% faster and now available up to 2 terabytes. And the iMacs are getting an I/O upgrade as well, because we're giving them 2 USB-C connectors which support Thunderbolt 3. And we think our customers, especially our pro users, are really going to love this, because you can do some cool things, like hook up a high-performance RAID array and an external 5K display at the same time. So now let's talk about graphics. And as you heard earlier, we're investing heavily in graphics software technologies like Metal 2. Well, we're also investing in graphics hardware. And every configuration in this new iMac line is going to get a big bump in its graphics performance. So we'll start with the entry-level iMac. Now, this system gets a boost in its integrated GPU by way of Intel's Iris Plus graphics, which now has 64 megabytes of VDRAM. And the performance that we're getting out of this is pretty amazing, because this system is up to 80% faster in graphics than the previous generation. Now, next up is the 21.5-inch iMac with Retina 4K display. And the big news here is that we're going to be moving to discrete graphics and making it standard on all 4K iMacs. And that's going to come, there you go, and that's going to come in this Radeon Pro series GPUs with up to 4 gigabytes of VRAM. And again, this move to discrete graphics yields a pretty spectacular performance increase, because this new system is up to 3 times faster than the previous generations of graphics. Now, lastly, we have our 27-inch iMac, and this is our most popular desktop for our pro customers. So obviously, it's going to get a bump in graphics today as well. So it's going to have these Radeon Pro 500 series GPUs with up to 8 gigabytes of VRAM. And again, we get a great performance uplift. In fact, this 27-inch iMac can now deliver up to 5.5 teraflops of graphics compute, which makes it a great platform for VR content creation.
Let's start with 21.5-inch iMac. For entry-level configuration, it doesn't even have quad-core processors. It has dual-core mobile processor. So you have to really consider this. You are going to buy a desktop computer with mobile processors for $1,099. And it also doesn't have faster memory as other models. And it has integrated Intel Iris Plus graphics 640. That means you will not get latest AMD graphics with entry-level 21.5-inch iMac. This 1 TB hard drive is one of the world's slowest storage options. It is 5400 RPM hard drive. Now 7200 RPM hard drive is the standard for desktops. Even with fancy Core i5 processors and 8GB DDR4 RAM, your computer will not perform well if you have slower hard drive. Again, check this. Biggest downside of this model is, it doesn't have 4K display and P3 colors. Actually, this 1080p display is 8 years older. So really think twice before buying this model. In this refresh, Apple actually added more value for iMac. But in this configuration you won't get any value. This model is not worth for the price. I really recommend to go for 4K model for extra $200. Let's move to the 21.5-inch 4K iMacs. This middle-end 21.5-inch iMac offers really desktop-class, quad-core processors with latest AMD Radeon Pro graphics. And it has fancy 4K display with advanced P3 colors. Only downside is, this configuration lacks 1 TB Fusion drive. Fusion drive is actually a hybrid storage option which has faster 128 GB solid-state drive and regular hard drive. This Fusion drive automatically store frequently used data on solid-state drive for faster access. So for extra $100, I really recommend to add Fusion drive to this configuration. Top-end 21.5-inch iMac has everything and it is really worth for that price. For extra $200, you get faster processor, better graphics, and Fusion drive as standard. If you want even faster processor or more memory or more storage, you have to add them now. In 21.5-inch models, RAM is not user upgradable. So keep that in mind. Let's move to 27-inch 5K iMacs. You can see that the entry-level 27-inch iMac has same processors as the high-end 4K iMac. For extra $300, you'll get better and bigger display, better graphics, and better speakers. This entry-level 5K iMac doesn't support for 64 GB memory. It only support for 32 GB. So if you need more memory than 32 GB, you have to go to higher model. 27-inch iMacs have user upgradable memory. So you can upgrade them later by yourself. And you should not upgrade the memory from Apple. Apple charge ridiculous amount for memory upgrade. If you wish to add better processor or more storage, you have to upgrade them now. Mid-end and high-end models are very valuable and worth for that price. And Apple claimed that the new 27-inch iMac has 5.5 teraflops GPU. So if you need that amount of GPU power, you have to select the high-end model. It actually set between the GTX 1060 to GTX 1070. If you need even better specifications, you should wait until end of this year to buy the iMac Pro. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. I'm going to do another buying guides for new iPad Pros and new MacBooks. See you soon guys. Bye bye.